All right. I'm super happy and excited to be hosting our first design meetup uh, organized by GeekyAnts. Though there have been meetups going on, but we want to bring everyone to a central place and talk more about in and around about design. So yeah, as Digvijay already introduced me, I'm Sanket. I have this love for design and code. It's really hard to bucket myself as a developer or a designer, so I keep switching between those two, and I thought like this would be a good opportunity to talk about what exactly are we doing, or why exactly are we doing this design meetup. So if you know our previous meetup, so we have been talking about uh, code, we have been talking about like super technical stuff, uh, but essentially we have missed a very important point. We have not talked a lot about it, is design. uh, because when you think about any particular say idea, and you want to say feel that in an app or something, the first thing that you think about is the design, how it looks and feel to the end users. You don't straight away think about say okay, React Native or Flutter, but instead you think about, okay, this is how my app is going to look like, this is going to be my branding colors, and probably we'll have a button here, and this is the placement, this sort of typography is what reflects uh, something about the app or the idea that you're trying to build. So we are going back from code to design, and that's why we have this design focused meetup. And a little bit about Geeky Ants. So we are a community first company, a community led company. We have our roots in open source and talking to people in and around, and one of which is definitely the open source project native base that we have done. And in fact, if we talk about native base, that also lies on the intersection of design and code. It's uh, it's it started as a UI component library for React Native, but slowly we took it back to the design, and now it's being used as a prototyping library for Figma designers. And now Figma designers can use that template and then go back to developers, and they can say, okay, they have designed these screens using the native Figma template, for example. So the friction between design and code is slowly minimizing with all these efforts. Apart from that, Geeky Ants, we essentially are a product studio. We build web and mobile apps, but we do everything in between, in and around web and mobile apps, right from design to code. And we are pretty active in the R&D side of things in this area. Like if there is, say, for example, yesterday we were testing Oculus VR and how we can build VR apps for all these new platforms like metaverse and all those things. So we are pretty active in whatever new comes into the market, and we want to try it out and then see if that solves a problem. If that does, then we take it back to like other people, clients, brands, and then say, okay, probably you can solve this problem by using this piece of technology. uh, I think that reminds me a very good thing about a very good quote from Steve Jobs, that you can't start with a technology and then think about the solutions. Instead of, you can, uh, in fact, it was like when you come up with a technology, you can go back to the problems that this technology would solve. And essentially, we believe like anything that comes new in the market, right from, say, for example, React Native, or maybe a design tool called, say like Figma. We have a history of switching from Adobe XD, or even before that, Photoshop to Adobe XD, and then we have tools like Figma and all these new prototyping tools that's coming up. We are constantly trying it out, and we try to see if that saves us any form of utility. Maybe it's time utility or form utility, that may end up in essentially building our product in a better way or in a faster way. Great. And yeah, so w- this is about like why we want to do this. And if you look at Geeky Ants, the design team specifically, they have been very active in doing a lot of things on the creative side. So design is a mega term, and we have UI UX as a part of it, because when we talk about design, we also talk about everything creative, right from like really abstract designs to something really on the other side, something like design system, which is close to code. uh, and our design team has been like doing a lot more on the UI UX side. That's the code side, how things look on the inside the apps on the interface. We have been doing a lot on the creative side too, but since we are talking about more on the overlap of code and design, we'll be focusing on like, okay, what's on the intersection. And I think that design system would be the perfect topic that falls in this intersection. And yeah, like if we talk about design system, native base itself is a design system that we built. We are doing the same thing for multiple different big companies out there. And that's why we want to talk about it, uh, like what is a design system, how can you build one, what's the importance of that, and how can you maintain it in the long run. And yeah, this is the first ever design meetup by GeekyAnts, and that's why we have the speakers from GeekyAnts. But this is only the starting point. We want to take it to everyone out there and bring in more speakers and more ideas from different companies. And since we're doing it for the first time, we have speakers from here. But yeah, I would love to hear more from other folks and open up the CFP for the next meetup, and then bring in a lot more ideas, not just from here, but from everywhere in and around.